You, PB from OptionMillionaires.com. Thanks for tuning in. This is part one, earnings this week. Oh my goodness. If it was heating up last week, this week we have so many big earnings out there. Stocks, when I mean big earnings, meaning stocks that are going to make a big move, which is great for option traders. And that's what we like. When we trade stock options, we like stocks to make a big move. So big earnings means big moves, means big potential profits. We're starting the day on Monday in the morning with WYNN Resorts. To me, I think the stock's going to continue to head higher. It's going to at least pull up to this double top here at about 150. Will earnings be the impetus to make it rally, which would be a really significant rally from here? It's possible, but I think a 1, 2, 3% increase post-earnings is very likely. However, it's not going to be ultimately that profitable for option traders. Especially early on in the week. So let's see what happens. We get a little dip at the open. That might be a great time to just get in there and grab some calls. I'll let you know what I do in the chat room. How about Simon Property Group reporting before the bell? Some concerns. You can see this channel here, this multi-year channel. It broke out to the upside, but this decline here was predicated on the rising interest rates. What's that little line there? Get out of there. So when we have interest rates rising, it's not so good for some of the real estate investment trust REITs. SPG is a REIT. It also operates one of the largest mall operators out there. Anyway, I think as long as we hold above, and it's at an important level here, hold above the levels that we're currently at, it's going to look pretty bullish for the stock, at least medium term here. You can see where we are, hold above this level. So it's going to be interesting Monday morning. Not going to trade it unless we get a significant drop or pop. How about Caesars Resorts? Caesars, not Resorts, Entertainment Corporation. It's at 1548, up 1% in a nice channel. Is it going to break to the upside or downside? Again, I'm not trading this, but to me, if you just put this up, I mean, it's a little crooked. I wouldn't want this flagpole in my yard, but that's what it looks like to me. A nice flagpole consolidation. Bing! Break out to new highs there, break above $18 post earnings. That's going to be a big move, about a 15 to 20% move. Pretty crazy. We'll see. I might trade that. To the call side for earnings, we have HLF, which has been squeezing. I call this head and shoulders pattern. We broke down. Beautiful rally here. Some are speculating Ackman has already kind of covered his rear end as far as shorting the heck out of this stock. Who knows? But I think to me, it looks like we're going to get that vertical kind of move up to about $70. Pretty crazy. I know we're at 58. That's a $12 move. But I think it's quite possible. This could be one of those Expedia type moves that we're going to see, except instead of to the downside, it's going to be the upside. It's going to be Herba Profits. Yeah, I know. I'm not a big fan of Herbalife here, and I think once it hits $70, it's going to be a great short. Considering, too, if you pull up here, we have a nice double top. I love it, though, for upside, for earnings. Sorry, Bill Ackman. That's all right. You're not even focusing on this stock anymore. We go to Manitowoc. Manitowoc, not so good after Caterpillar earnings. You see it was down 1%. But, again, consolidating, so it's going to be interesting. Each time, though, it's at the top of this channel, it's broken down to the downside. So you just have to run with it here down to about 16.50 post earnings. Let's go to DDD, Triple D, which would be 3D Systems. Beautiful rally here since 2009 when it was sub $2 stock. Now it's at 50. Is it topping out? Or is it just consolidating? Very interesting here. I'm not going to trade it post earnings, but I think it is the bias, in my opinion, still to the upside. Look at this trend. Okay, we've gone from $1.54 to $50. So the trend remains your friend to the upside. How about Coach? Coach, look at this, remaining above long-term support levels. The subject of numerous downgrades over the last couple months. Down to the 50 level, it bounced off of 45. I don't know, it's going to be interesting here. This is kind of an elongated head and shoulders pattern. You can almost make the case here for a left shoulder, a head, a right shoulder, and a possible decline. Shorter term, make the case for an inverted head and shoulders. So it's kind of a dueling, I don't know, which way do you go, George? No, it'll be interesting to see. I'm not going to trade it. When you see some kind of conflicting technical perspective on the charts, better off just remain in the sidelines and see what happens from there. We got so many earnings this week. No need to jump into coach just yet. We have, how about call? This is Magic Jack. Again, remaining above support, but I think the chart to me looks bearish. I think we're going to head down to this $10 level. We're at 1626, up almost 5% on the day. Again, just keep in mind, those one of the most heavily shorted stocks out there. On one side, that means a lot of people are betting for downside. The shorts are showing that. But on the other side, if we do get some sort of surprise to the upside, the shorts will be screwed. So you might want to stay on the sidelines for this one too. We have Oshkosh Bigosh, Oshkosh Corporation at 40.39. Look at this possible double top. Look at the decline we had coming into 2008. I remember the stock was at $30. I remember back in 2007, I think. It dropped 20-something% post earnings. It was a dramatic fall. Because is that what we're setting up for? I might be looking for options here. I'm going to put a star next to this one. Okay, I like this one for a possible double top and a pullback, and that would be an Oshkosh Bigosh. And finally, on the part one of earnings this week, July 27th is today. It's Saturday. This is the week starting July 29th. We have Western Union, which I pointed out many weeks ago as the stock was rallying. We were going to fill this gap. Oh my goodness! The gap is filled. Where do we go next? Pretty interesting, right? I mean, down here, I was talking about this gap. We filled it. I'm going to go back and find that video. I'll post it somewhere. I was talking about this gap getting filled. It got filled. Are we going to head lower? It's going to be interesting. You look at some of the studies, possibly. We are certainly just off overbought territory. I guess earnings is going to tell us where the stock's going to head from here. But if you look at the longer-term pattern here, just in the 2-year chart, you could see up into about $19 range if we do spike higher. And this could be the part of, if you draw a trend line here, maybe a pullback to about $16.50 before the uptrend is resumed. That's going to cover earnings for Monday and Tuesday. Okay, Monday before the bell we have WYNN and Simon Property Group, SPG. After the bell we have Caesars, HLF, Mentawak, MTW. And then Tuesday before the bell we have DDD, COH, CALL, Oshkosh, and Western Union. So that covers before the bell. Part 2 is going to be Buffalo Wild Wings, Boston Property Group, Aflac. We have Bud. And then we have MasterCard, Soda on Wednesday. We have after the bell, Sam Adams, C-Trip, MetLife, Shutterfly, Yelp. It's going to be a great earnings week. All right, UPB here from OptionMillionaires.com. That's part 1, covering Monday and Tuesday before the bell. Part 2 is coming up soon. Goodbye.